Why, good morning. This is another Coffee Time with Andrew, episode 93. Okay, it's been a while. I have done a few things. One of the things I did was finished a book here. Okay, very interesting. Tiny Habits, right there. This book, I think, will be influential in my processes. A lot of the things that he thinks are revolutionary that he discovered, the techniques he discovered, well, I've been doing most of those most of my life with dog training. So he has, because he's from Stanford, of course, he's going to get credit for that. But a lot of the things that he talks about and his techniques are things that I learned from a couple people, one Lynn Lasana and the other guy was Bob Smock, a famous AKC dog obedience trainer. And many of the techniques I even write about in my first book. So before he wrote his book, I wrote mine. And I did not describe the techniques quite like he does. So I do give him credit. He has put some labels on some of the techniques, which will make them easier to implement. And I do plan on implementing a lot of his strategies or tactics, I should say. So that's the first thing, and you will see the reflection of his writing in things that I have been writing over the last 2 or 3 months. So that's that, and then we have another book here. Hey, looky there. So there, yes, that's it. That's the new book I wrote. To website or not to website? Yep, it's about web development, web design, but not so much about web design as much as, well, at least the first 4 chapters or so are more about behavioral design. Let's get the book right in there, which is what this guy talked about. And what I probably do the most of, what I'm most familiar with, while I've been doing websites since the late 90s, so that's over 20 years. I always have some little behavioral aspect to it, whether it's how I do the design or whether it's the preparation, but there's usually some behavioral twist. And that's what I hope to help people with, is how to organize their day so that they can actually get the content done for their website, or at least help with it. So I've developed some shortcuts for that. And there are other things I've been working on. I have started doing web design as a business. So if anybody out there wants a new website, but more importantly, I think, is the marketing. I didn't realize, well, I did kind of, that one of the reasons I wanted to do websites is to do marketing along with it. And the reason I thought website design would be great is because it touches on so many aspects of a business. In addition to that, almost all the websites I look at have some problem. So I'd like to just start with a clean site and go forward with the marketing. I remember way back when, in the early days of the web, I used to create very effective but very ugly websites. And I was doing a website for a gym. They were getting business from it. It was starting to rank in Google. At that time, I could get ranking on just about any website. And they had a member who was a terrific web designer that made beautiful websites. And I wasn't emotionally invested. Sure, if you want to change and go with something that looks better, I'm all for that. And then several months later, I called him up. I knew the guy, so it wasn't like just a strictly business relationship. But, we're kind of friends. I trained with him. And asked him, how's the new website going? It looks great. And he told me, haven't got any business from it. And I mentioned this guy called Miyamoto Musashi. I think that's how you say his name. Wrote the Book of Five Rings, very famous book here in the States about a samurai warrior at the end of the Sengoku period. And he always said that your tools should be hardy and strong, not decorative. And that's sort of how I felt about websites at the time, and still to some extent do. So I think that it's better to have a well-structured website that has some fairly good technical aspects to it. I think that's more important a lot of times than just how good it looks. Sort of like a girl. You might have a beautiful girl, but if she has some personality flaws, it can make life really miserable. I once dated a gal. I'm not the best looking guy, but she was an awfully attractive girl. And if I left her alone for just a couple minutes, there were like 4 guys there trying to pick up on her. And she also had a personality that probably encouraged that a bit. That just didn't work out. So, like I say, good websites more than a pretty face. And you may notice my desk work area is a little bit messier than normal. And that is because I'm rebuilding my puppet back here. You might notice his legs are a little shorter, and I have redesigned them completely because the old one was okay but didn't work quite right. And this was really a prototype I never planned on using, but I spent so much time building it, I thought I would use it in production. And I'm also working on new hands. I don't like the hands on that one. They were made out of milk cartons, actually, or milk jugs, because that's what I happen to have. And like I said, I wasn't really planning on, it was just a concept, proof of concept. So I have these here and a bunch of other little things that go along with it. They're just kind of scattered about. And I'm doing this in my office here because it's been so hot outside. I just don't want to work out there on my little work platform. Okay, well, that may do it. I've been getting out and talking to a lot of local businesses recently. So if you'd like me to stop by and say hi, do some photos, put you in the business directory here in North Orange County, let me know, and I'll stop by and we can chat. And I think that is going to about do it for today. I am wishing you the very best in life. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.